Wow. Shot a little low on that. Wow. Guys, this is a very fast 22. This is the new Ruger Super Redhawk chambered in 22 Hornet. Let's get into the video. The Ruger Super Redhawk in 22 Hornet. This is the first 22 Hornet that I've ever had on my channel. I've had a 17 Hornet on there several years ago, but the 22 Hornet was developed in 1930, so it's been around for nearly 100 years. And there are a lot of people that love the 22 Hornet, especially when it's fired out of a rifle. This one out of a revolver with a 9.5-inch barrel. It is a perfect setup for just a truck gun if you live out west for prairie dog hunting or whatever have you. I think it's pretty incredible that Ruger actually tried to resurrect the 22 Hornet. Yes, there are some companies, including Ruger, that still makes a rifle in a 22 Hornet, but there are very few companies that actually make a revolver in the 22 Hornet. Being a Super Redhawk, this thing weighs a ton. It weighs 66 ounces without the scope, and it does come with these nifty stainless scope ring. The trigger is very nice, breaks at about 2.5 pounds, and it is just a tank of a revolver. So I'm gonna load up a few rounds. I don't have much ammunition for this video. Finding 22 Hornet is nearly impossible, and we're gonna talk about that here in just a minute, but let's do some shooting. I think I've got like 50 rounds left in my name. All right, let's go out at 100 yards. Man, that bullet hitting the steel is like instantaneously the same time as I pull the trigger. It just gets there so fast. Ooh, there's a soda can up there, trying to hit it, but man, holding this revolver up, it weighs like 6 pounds with the scope. And to be still, that's hard to hit. Whew. So the 22 Hornet, it's a beast of a caliber, especially in a rifle. Now, out of a rifle, this particular ammo is going how fast? I think 3,000? Yeah, 3,000 feet per second. We're gonna test it here in just a moment to see actually how fast it's going out of this revolver. These are 35 grain bullets that I am shooting, American Eagles. And, you know, you would think shooting something with a scope would be much easier with the handgun. It's actually not. I am shaking like crazy. I guess I had too much coffee this morning. But from the bench, this thing does really, really well. And I foresee that's what most people are going to buy this revolver for out west coyotes or groundhogs or prairie dogs. You know, you can get one of those window rests and you can put that revolver right there on the rest of the window and, you know, shoot out to a couple 100 yards with this particular setup. But free-handed, since it weighs 6 pounds, it's a little hefty. All right, load up a few more here. The bad thing about the 22 Hornet is the availability of it. You know, you can't hardly find it anywhere. And not only that, when you do find it, you know, a box of this stuff is like 80 bucks for 50 rounds. So it is well over $1 a shot. But the good thing about the 22 Hornet is this: if you reload, you can reload this round for like 35 or 40 cents a piece. So if you do own a 22 Hornet, more than likely you are reloading it. All right, let's get a few more shots here. All right, what can we shoot? Let's go for that little Caldwell silhouette there. Wow, man, it hits hard. Hit that one out at 60. Let's go for 75. Hit it. All right, let me see if I can hit that soda now. That's a little bitty target. Oh, I think I hit right underneath it and it fell. All right, 4-inch plate. Right above it. Right to the right. Oh, there we go. 100 yards on a 4-inch plate. Oh, yeah. It is fun to shoot. There is hardly any recoil to this revolver at all because it is heavy. Like I mentioned, it's 66 ounces, not including the scope, but it tames that recoil. But what you do get off of that is a lot of concussion. It's almost like shooting an AR-15 with a bird cage, that you just get that concussion off of it. It's very similar to that. Not quite as bad, but probably about 75% of that. So I'm gonna set up the chronograph. We're gonna shoot a couple of rounds through the chrony to see how fast this bullet is actually traveling out of this revolver. All right, I have my chronograph that is probably 12 years old. I don't even know if this thing still works anymore, but I'm gonna fire 3 rounds to see how much velocity you actually lose with this revolver compared to that of a rifle. So here we go. .2305. All right, let's go again. .2340. I got an error on that one. .2310. So I'm going to average those numbers up and put them somewhere on this screen. But that is about 650 to 700 feet per second slower than that of a rifle. I thought I would at least lose 1,000 feet per second, but only losing 650, 700 feet per second is pretty good. All right, let's load a few more rounds and I'll tell you a few more things about it. No, you don't have to mount a scope on this revolver. It does come with an adjustable rear sight and it has a nice fiber optic front sight. It came with the rings and I had this old scope laying around. I'm like, might as well throw a scope on it, right? So I think I'm gonna keep the scope on it. I don't think I wanna shoot this open sights just in case if I do wanna coyote hunt with it. And you know, there's a coyote out there at 150 yards or so. I think I'm gonna keep the scope on there. But this cylinder does lock up in 3 separate ways. So this is a tank. If you're familiar with any of the Ruger revolvers, especially the Super Redhawks, you know that Ruger actually overbuilds their revolvers, which is a good thing, especially when you're shooting 44,000 PSI in a 22 Hornet here. But all right, let's load up one more. We got 8 shots, and if I didn't mention before, it is an 8-shot revolver. All right, let's see. Let's go for the target right there at 50 yards. Smacked it dead center. There we go. Having a little bit of trouble out there at 75 yards. All right, got a few shots left. Let's go with the 4-inch plate again. Oh, I spun it all the way around. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned or not, but this is double action, but I'm out of ammo. So it is a double action, but the single action does fire. We'll pull that trigger pull at about 2.5 pounds. So what else can we say about the new Ruger Redhawk chambered in 22 Hornet? I love it. I'm gonna have to break out probably some of my old reloading stuff and reload some of this Hornet. It's hard to find, and we'll be honest with you, I've been looking for a couple of months trying to find it. Luckily Federal sent me the only 2 boxes that they had in the warehouse. So, but it allowed me to do the video. Guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, y'all be safe. Keep leaking.